I told this story to one of our mutual friends when I was getting ready to do a triathlon, and
I was driving over here and just kind of thinking about, what we'd be talking about and why I was coming over. And I guess bottom line is, I always appreciate, you're always trying to get better, which is actually, I think, unique,
Yeah,
so,
maybe.
But it's awesome. I really appreciate that.
Well, there's some things that we have in common. There's two things that aren't on our like formal agenda that have to come out, and we both share an amazing swimming prowess. I told this story to one of our mutual friends when I was getting ready to do a triathlon, and he said, "You got to meet my buddy Matt. He has the same story." Would you mind telling your triathlon story as best you remember it? I can tell mine.
I think we first need to say we both completed a triathlon.
I've done several.
Not everybody can say that.
That's true. Good point.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't know how you completed several after you had the experience you had.
Yes.
And so the one you're going to tell your experience about your first try, correct?
Yes.
Okay. See, I was one and done. I mean, I don't have to keep hitting my head against the wall to learn the lesson. So my wife did a triathlon, and this was not an Ironman.
Yeah.
This is the sprint up in Sylvania, Ohio. And I couldn't tell you off my head what exactly it is, but I think it's like
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whoever.
But it's think of an Ironman and cut it like in a 20th of it. So it's
whatever it is, it's still challenging, no matter what.
I would agree. Yeah, to me it was very so. I'll try to make this very quick, but my wife did one. I'm like, yeah, I can do one. I'm going to try this. So, I've always been able to run pretty good. Bike, who can't bike, right? That's not a big deal.
It's easy.
Swimming, I can swim, but I've never done, lengthy swimming or, or open water swimming, anything like that. I went to the pool, the club, and I did some laps, totally like, okay, I did 10 laps, I'm gonna go have a beer, I'm ready.
Right.
Sign me up. The funny thing about my story is that we get to Olander Park up in Sylvania, and I'm in the 40-year-old bracket, and it's a beautiful morning. The water is like glass.
Yeah.
Because nobody's been in the water yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're the first group to go off. Lucky me, right?
Right.
And so
easy.
There's a guy on a
rainbows
speaker,
and unicorns.
Like, okay, we have the 40-year-olds, it was 40 to 41s, whatever, to go off first. And there's a guy beside me, and I literally said to him, okay, and there's pylons in the water. And I said, okay, are we the orange pylons? And he kind of laughed. He said, no, we're the green. And I'm like, and the green are much shorter than the orange.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. This is going to be easy. Right.
Right.
So, the gun goes off. I kind of methodically start getting into the water thinking I'm going to let everyone else go first. Well, I think everyone was kind of doing that. All of a sudden, it's like a Shark Tank. You dive in, you're getting elbows, I took on water within 10 seconds. It was crazy. It was crazy. I don't think I swam 100 yards and I was out of breath. And I'm like, I'm in trouble. This is bad.
Stressful. For sure.
So I get about halfway and I am literally on my back. Just I'm doing, back, what do you call it? The back, dog paddle or whatever,
Backstroke.
Backstroke.
Yeah.
Doing the backstroke.
But you kind of float. You're buoyant.
That's how bad of a swimmer I am. I don't even know what it's called, but I was doing the backstroke.
Yep.
So I am just trying to stay afloat, like literally keep my head above water.
Yeah.
And I should go back just a little bit. When they were announcing the 40-year-olds, they said, oh, yeah, and we'd also like to acknowledge we have the Michigan State swimming team going off next.
So guess what?
So, I'm not even halfway through. And I think they give you 10 minutes in between groups or 8 minutes, whatever. And all of a sudden, I am literally getting yelled at by these
college kids.
Yeah, these porpoises in the water flying by me. Get out of the water, yelling at me. And I'm like, help, I'm screaming. they go by me, and I don't know if I'm sure a lot of you know about Tri, but they clock everything. And so I get out of the water. I mean, I'm just like I'm ready to kiss the ground, and then there's transitions, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to I go to my transition, and looking back, because everything is timed, and so like the next day when I looked at my time, my transition was like the longest transition of anyone. It was like
in the
I packed a lunch. I don't know what I was doing. It was crazy, but I survived.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good. Well, if you can survive going into the insurance business, like it was probably a lot like that. Like you get through but our experience is very much the same. But once you get out of the water, you're like, at least you like I can do the bike, and if I don't have the capacity to run, I can walk. Like I'm going to finish this thing. So getting out of the water is like the crucial part.
Yeah.
And right. I think in our line of work, which is different a little bit, but they say if you can make it in the business for 5 years, like you'll make it. So that's kind of like the water, right?
Yeah,
like you get through that you get through the water part, and then like everybody can do the bike. Once you get to a certain point, you're kind of feeling it.
I was going to piggyback and say, I think the water was the first 2 years of my career, and you're just trying to keep your head above and survive and make it through. So